A very good evening, everybody. I'm Neeta Nair. I'm the editor of Impact Magazine and also the organizer of this event. You know, Exchange for Media has many marquee events, but this one is always the team's favorite because it involves the young guns. And this year, it's doubly special for us because we complete the 10th year anniversary. So yeah, a decade of recognizing young talent in advertising. So yeah, we have the jury members, we have experts from the industry, and also some of our ex-students, the past listers here. So it's going to be an evening to remember, and I really, really hope you all enjoy yourselves. Over to you, Bhavna.
Thank you so much, Neeta. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a bigger round of applause. Hello, everyone. My name is Bhavna Bhatia, and I'm going to be your host for the evening. Firstly, seeing the spectacular faces, let me tell you, you've all made such great impact in the industry that today you've all made it in the Impact Top 30 Under 30. So for that, can I have a huge round of applause for each and every one of you today? So ladies and gentlemen, we are all set to present the 10th edition of the Top 30 Under 30, brought to you by the Impact Magazine of the Exchange for Media Group. My name is Bhavna Bhatia, in the industry for over a decade, and it's my honor to represent the brand with all of you today. Here we pick the most talented individuals under the age of 30 from the agencies in the A&M industry. It also includes the young achievers from the creative, media, content, design, and the digital agencies ecosystem. But before I get on to do the further talking, we thought an audiovisual will appease you better. Could we have the intro, AV?
Impact Top 30 Under 30 list 2023 will be unveiled shortly. This coveted list of the most creative and impactful young professionals from the agency ecosystem was arrived upon by a very prominent jury comprising top industry professionals and chaired by Avinash Pandey, CEO of the ABP Network.
Hello everyone, I want to thank Impact for inviting me to chair the jury of its Top 30 and the 30 initiative. I've been doing this for almost a decade now. I really enjoy doing this job because I firmly believe that young talents are to be appreciated, encouraged and applauded, and Impact has taken this initiative which is worth praising.
Impact received more than 150 entries from across agencies in the ecosystem.
I think there's a certain rigor in the whole process, and I think that's given us a very, very good, robust set of people to bring into the live session. And frankly, I've been really impressed by the quality of talent we have.
One line I can tell you, future is in the right hands. And we are choosing those today. And by the end of the day, we'll have 30 most powerful, most creative, most innovative, most, what do you call that, good human leaders for the industry.
I think in places like this, you kind of get to see what all is happening in your industry through the eyes of someone who's not spent too much time over here but wants to spend more time. And I think the kind of things that they're dreaming of, they're hoping will happen, etc., 50% of those things might just happen over the next 5 to 7 years.
This year was a little sort of a bit, I would say, a little interesting and a little exciting for me because I saw a lot of first generation entrepreneurs, youngsters coming out. There's a great level of confidence among this set. So that was new.
It's lovely to see that there is such good talent available in our industry who are doing amazing work at such a young age. So overall, it was a lovely process, and I was very glad to be on the jury. Thank you for inviting me.
I think fabulous quality of entries. I think each of them was better than the other. It was very difficult to get to the 30. I believe you had more than 200 entries. To whittle it down to 30 was quite a job, but we all enjoyed the process. the jury learnt a lot, I think, interacting with all these people.
The winners have been selected after carefully analyzing their work, leadership skills, and the overall impact that they have had in their respective fields of work.
The process has been very fair, very rigorous, and extremely difficult.
So some really brilliant work that one was seeing and thoroughly enjoyed what is coming in. In fact, it gave me a lot of learning, and more than that, it really motivated that I have to go out and start my own.
With every passing year, the kind of work the talent is producing is simply amazing.
This kind of gives me confidence that the future is definitely in the right hands.
It's heartwarming to see such kind of active contribution coming from the youngsters.
So I think the jury process has been really interesting. We've met some interesting talents here, people who are really passionate about what they're doing and how they want to make an impact overall to the industry, to the world around them.
10 years of shining the light on the most talented young agency professionals in India. Impact celebrates a decade of top 30 under 30.
Wow, this is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the team. Also, since we're in the social media atmosphere, when we have our smartphones with us, we have our teams who manage our media as well. We request you to kindly tweet heartily with the hashtag, which is very simple, hashtag #ImpactTop30 as one word. So all you have to do is take pictures, put that winning moment with that hashtag, and let's encourage everyone who's made it today. Let's all go all out and make this evening even more memorable. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor now to invite a person who's leading it from the front, somebody who's got great impact and great dynamism. We're talking about the editor-in-chief of Exchange for Media Group and Chairman BW Business World, Dr. Anurag Batra.
I was wondering who you're talking about. Good evening. For a moment, I was wondering who's Bhavna introducing, Mr. Ori. I thought she's introducing you. But I figured out it's me. You're good at lying, huh, Bhavna? No, I'm kidding. Good evening. It's my honor and privilege to be here. Me and Awad started Exchange for Media 23 years back, around this time. It's been a long journey for us. We were both under 30 when we started it. I'd like to first start by welcoming all the jury members who are here. Our jury chair, Mr. Avinash Pandey, who's the Group C of the ABP News Network. Mr. Rohit Hori, who's the chairperson of Wonderman. No, clearly I should be FCB Ulka. Maybe I'm looking in the future, who knows? Apologies for that. And every other jury member who's here. I met some of the winners of this 10th cohort. I met their parents, so welcome to all the parents. I have 2 young children, so when parents feel good when the children do well, so good to have chatted with some of you. Our editor, Neeta Nair, who's put together this list with the jury, Mr. Ori and Mr. Pandey, and a lot of other jury members are here. Neeta tells me in the 10th year, our last 9 years winners have done really well. So first of all, I'd like to applaud all of the kind of alumni of the Impact top 30 under 30 who've done well. I was coming here today. Normally, Mr. Ori, I don't make PowerPoint presentations. You know why? Normally, PowerPoint presentations are made by people who are neither powerful nor have a point of view. I'm Avinash Pandey's friend, so clearly I have both. So I made a small presentation, you know. I want to ask all of you, don't Google, huh? Do you know who this guy is? Would you like to know who this guy is? Would you like to know? See, I was wondering what would I say to people who have done so well, such at an initial age of being less than under 30, and what would I say to them? When I was preparing my presentation, he's a young Israeli. He almost became the youngest Israeli to climb the Mount Everest. Couple of weeks, about 12 weeks back. He was just very close to Mount Everest. You can Google his story. And then one of his co-climbers died, and one who was almost dead. So he could have decided to go up and become the youngest Israeli ever to climb the Mount Everest, which would have meant a world to his family and great achievement. But he decided to carry his other colleague who was almost half dead in his description, and carrying him back was an arduous task. And luckily that person survived and lived. And he's going to make another attempt in climbing the Mount Everest. So I just want to say that his name is Nadav Ben Yehuda. It's a very Israeli name. So keep climbing the Mount Everests that you do in your life, but don't forget to help people. I do really mean that. This is me. I was in the second year of my business school. I went to a business school called MDI. I got in when the quality control was bad. I was 24 then. I was smoking a cigar, and I had hair, and I used to wear a tie and suit. This is after 30. I was in Monte Carlo. I'd gone to Cannes Lines, and then I met, you know who's the guy, you know who's the movie star. I'm not the movie star. Right, yeah, JCVD. I was sitting in Cafe de Paris, and he looked familiar. And I kept scratching my eyes. Oh, I realized I went up with him. Bhuvan Lal was with me, who of course knew Ashok and Vijay, and then it is an interesting conversation which I'll tell off stage. So at 24, I started working. At 28 and a half, Naval was 26. We started Exchange for Media with another friend of ours who no longer works at Exchange for Media, but Amit, me and Naval started Exchange for Media. 29, I got married. And in the last 23 years, we built something of Exchange for Media, thanks to the support of the industry. I just want to say that the age of achievement is getting younger and younger. You're a proof. I was coming on the flight. I met a young guy called Arya Upadhyay. He worked with a YouTuber. He was sitting next to me, and incredibly kind and nice boy. 23 years old, dropped out of college at 9 when he was in class 9, so he must be 14, 15, and he's doing well. He told me about his brother, who at 23 dropped out of his third year of engineering college and became the youngest climber from Mumbai to climb the Mount Everest. At 24? I told him I've been married for 23 years and to the same woman. That's equally good. Counts, but jokes apart, I genuinely believe the age of achievement is getting younger. As I said, I take what we do seriously. I don't take myself that seriously, but I do take what we do very seriously. I said, I don't want to preach down to you. I have a 20-year-old and a 16-year-old. My girl is 20 and my boy is 16. And they're very wise. Honestly, I mean, I sometimes wonder, where they get wisdom from, but I'm sure it's from the mom, Avinashi, since you know my wife. So I really believe people like Mr. Ori, Mr. Pandey, me, Naval, we should be getting reverse mentored by you. But I also meet a lot of young people. I also wear a hat of being at BW Business World. We do a lot of lists. I meet a lot of young people who are achievers. And I always end up learning something from them. So I just want to say I met a lot of you young people, and I want to tell you to avoid the 3 C's. You want to guess what these 3 C's are? It's not chicken, it's not cigarette. I don't want to preach about those things, though I don't do either, but I turned vegetarian for a good Punjabi. It's not good to be vegetarian, but I'm pure vegetarian. The first is comparison. All of us do. I do comparison. I compare with people who have more hair than me, more brains than me. Both, a lot of people, especially my wife who has hair till hair. But on a serious note, there is an old saying that comparison is the thief of joy. And that's true. We have to be contented with what we have. So while you achieve what you do, and you must do, and pursue it, don't compare. Your journey is unique. I also work with a lot of young people in both my companies. I don't Naval run the forum. I spend more time in business world. Complaining. I see sometimes, you guys have nothing to complain. You all are very, very privileged. So I see young people, including my children, sometimes complaining, and I do know a lot of young people who have done well in various fields. And this is not. First is hope. You could also say drinks, but I'd say hopes for now. Drinks in 2 hours from now. But hope. I genuinely wake up every day believing that today will be better than yesterday, tomorrow will be even better than today. You're young people, you only have so much to look forward to. The world is going to be a better place in spite of whatever is happening around us. And second H is hustle. You can also call it hard work. Depends on how you look at it. But hard work matters. Whatever you focus on, whatever you spend your time, energy, grows, right? When I grow up, I want to be like you. I want to come to an event like this, but hopefully soon. I know you're a past alumni, and Mehta was telling me how well you've done. And the last H was humility. Somewhere, I don't know, the slide is gone. But anyway, so I will skip some of the other slides. I want to keep it, this is a long slide, but I'll leave the presentation with Mehta. But she will send it to you. I became whatever little I've achieved in life is because I read a lot more than a lot more people. I definitely buy more books than anybody. Mine and Naval's conversations a lot of times are about books. And I'm one of those guys who feels if you buy a book and keep it in your bedroom, you'll get wiser, even if you don't read it. I read a lot of books, and I really believe I recently at my Health Tech 30 under 30 met Shantanu Naidu, who my daughter follows. So these are 30 books, not in any particular order. The first 2 books I'm a little biased about. The second book is my daughter's book she wrote when she was 16, got launched at 17. And a book I read last year, and I'm going to gift it to you, Mr. Ori. It's called Life Force by Anthony Robbins. You could live till 150 after you read that book, and if you followed it, he plugs all the health tech advances in the world, and he's an investor in a lot of those health. I recently read this book called Thanks to Avinash. I was coming back from a wedding from Chandigarh with Avinash, and he was reading this book, and I asked him, and that day I had maybe 300 questions. And I asked him about a book, and he told me, and I bought it, and I loved it, and since then I've possibly gifted 500 copies at our events. It's a book called Humankind by Rutger Bregman. It should be Bregman. His spelling is wrong. And then I bought his first book, which is, again, Avinash told me about it, which is called Utopia for Realists. The book that I read, some parents are here. I read it, I think I gifted it to Naval 18, 19 years back. I must have read it 20 years back. It's called Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom. And it's a lovely book. And it's simple messages. Spend time with your loved ones. As you grow older, you spend lesser time with your parents. As somebody has 2 young children who are very busy, 16 and 20, very busy, very, very busy. You have to seek appointment. Spend time with your parents and loved ones, whatever you define. I recently read this book. It was on the bestseller list of New York Times, Washington Post, any non-literary list. It's called the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. It's not written by him, it's written by a Swedish guy. And he's taken his tweets and put it into a book with permission. It's a lovely book. Normally when books are so hyped, they normally don't come up to. It's a lovely and an easy read. And it's in some way, there's a toolkit, and it's very simple. And there are many other books. Whatever books you like, I leave this. These are, for example, I read a book on entrepreneurship about 8-9 years back, whenever it came out. It's one of the best books because we, in the media, glorify entrepreneurship as if, it's all rosy, and it is a long, hard toil. I read this book called Hard Things About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz. And since in our list, I was discussing with Neeta, we should have more women. This year, we have more men, but mostly we are even Stevens. But this year, these 2 gentlemen have selected more men in the list. But a book that I recommend to all women friends and women leaders is a book by Dr. Brené Brown called The Gifts of Imperfection. Dr. Brown is a researcher in one of the American universities, and she's done a lot of work on shame, guilt, especially in women, and how to overcome them. It's a lovely book. You don't want to buy the book, watch her TED Talk. It's free. I don't get any money on the sale of any book, including my daughter's book. So I will, and there are lists. I will leave it. I want to show you this video. You're getting to 30. I want to quickly complete my presentation. You will be able to play this video? No, you don't have the video. Oh, she didn't. Decent. Anyway, I'll send it. Now, I just want to end by asking you, what do you think is the world's greatest problem? And it's a serious question. It's not a joke. I want a serious. What is the single biggest threat to humankind? It's not Indian news channels. What is the threat? I do read magazines. I was at the Habitat Library, though I get a copy of that magazine at home. But I first read the cover of the Time magazine, and the cover said, the most important place on earth. Ironically, that place is not on earth. It's about global warming. The single biggest threat to the world is global warming. Look at what is happening with the wildfires in Australia, in Europe. Look at the temperatures in ocean, take any part of the world, in any ocean. Look at the rising. I read this cover story, the most important place on earth, and ironically, it's the ocean. It's not on earth. And it talked about how the mammals, the fishes, the big mammals, when they leave the excreta and it goes down to the bottom of the bed, it actually takes in a lot of carbon dioxide. So if oceans shrink, the world will be in danger. And read this cover story, don't believe me. And it gives you scientific data on how the temperatures have risen by 8 to 10% everywhere, and they're likely to rise. And again, how in some parts of the world, summer is coming earlier. So your young people, I was also reading the latest list, the Time Next, where out of the 100 people they've selected, almost 20 are from the people who are trying to save the planet, young people like you. So I just want to leave this with you, that whatever you do, do care for the environment, do care for sustainability. Donald Trump said climate change is a hoax. Of course, like a lot of things, Donald Trump is wrong on that, even if he becomes the next president of America. I wish you luck. Stay grounded, stay humble, and keep doing well. We at Exchange for Media and Impact will chronicle your stories. This is the 10th year. Mr. Sanjiv Mehta, who's the chairman of Unilever, will be here in some time, and I'm sure you'll hear from our jury members and our jury chair, Mr. Avinash Pandey. Thank you. God bless you. Congratulations to you and your families.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anurag Batra, for setting the context. And of course, for all the ones who have seen him on stage, I would say that was the candid best we've heard from him. And we really would acknowledge all the wisdom he's imparted. Let's give him a warm, warm round of applause. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now the moment for me to invite somebody who's been a great leader to the industry. We're talking about our jury chair, the CEO of ABP Network, Mr. Avinash Pandey, who's going to be helping us to talk about the Shark Tank kind of process this year, because we had more than 150 plus entries. So we'd love to hear from none other than Mr. Avinash Pandey.
Well, after such a lovely speech by you, Anurag, my place is to shut up, because I don't want to come between the wonderful audience here and their recognition that is going to happen on the stage. Having said that, I am right now surrounded by my colleagues from the industry, parents who are here. I can tell you something interesting about the jury process. I mean, I don't want to bore you with what presentations and what rigor that we applied. We all do all the time. But it was interesting that many of the contestants came through their partners twice. First they came, and then the second time they sent their partners. So that even if one of them then the company gets recognized. So that's smart. I have been associated with this award for the last 10 years since the time that it started, and I think twice or thrice I've chaired it. So thrice. So, so I'm as old fossil as you can imagine, because some of the people that I selected first time, they are now under 40, or they are jury chair, or doing the jury work in 40, under 40. One of the things that technology does and media and communication does is that you actually strive to learn something new from everyone that you are being surrounded. Today in the world of ChatGPT and AI, whatever that I'm talking, one can Google and check whether I'm saying right or wrong. But I'll tell you an interesting episode. And there is a message in it that I want to leave you with. I have a friend who is a professor of history in American University, and I called him up when I was there in Los Angeles, and I said, can I attend your class, if possible? And he was teaching an undergrad class, the first year students, the freshmen, and I went to attend that class. And in that class, I found some young people sitting in the class and doing something on the laptop, absolutely not listening to whatever the professor was saying. However, professor asked 2 questions, and almost every child raised their hand. And if you have been to American University, you know that asking a question leads you with a number or a marks, right? The first question that he asked was that what is the role of technology? And many of you, because I'm talking about this because you all came with the ad tech thing to pitch me for getting selected in 30 under 30. And the answer was that technology creates time. The only role of technology, and the one thing that capitalism, which funded technology, has not been able to create, and this was the second question that was asked, which Mr. Batra wanted to answer, is that what is it that it has not been able to capture? Because the money, the business that we are in, to create more and more wealth and making people prosperous around us, has not been able to do one thing which they are fighting for. Good attempt. The money works well if it delivers you return on the invested money even when you are sleeping. So the technology and capitalism biggest challenge today is to capture sleep. And that's what Mr. Batra was emphasizing. I'll leave you with the note I met late Vinod. I don't know how many of you remember him. He died last year. I met him when I was in college. It was 1994, just after the Mandal Commission agitation. We were not knowing what we are going to do next. And I met him. I was 24, 25 at that time. And I asked him, I want to go to media, and what should be my aim? And he said, if you are not shining in your profession before you touch 30, you won't go very far. So congratulations to all of you who are here amongst 30 under 30, and good luck for the event.
Thank you, Mr. Pandey, for joining us on the podium today. And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, as he rightly said, that it is time for us to acknowledge the ones who've made it to the list. Now, because Mr. Pandey has the schedule to follow, we are going to be having first up the 5 who are going to be recognized. Remember, it's in no particular order. There's no ranking. It's just that they're in the start, initial part of the list. So we're going to be acknowledging them first. But we request all our winners to kindly stay back, because we've got this group photo of all the 30 under 30, which will be captured at the end of the program today, which will, of course, make it to the editorial content as well. Also, I'd like to reiterate the 150+ nominations which were received, and, of course, a great number of entries. So it's been a great task. We're looking forward now to starting off with the list of the 5 being now announced, and then we'll proceed with the evening. But before we start, I think let's get more and more energy in the room. Let's applaud one another, and let's again acknowledge one another, ladies and gentlemen. So, well, with that being said, it is time for me to re-invite on stage our jury chair, Mr. Avinash Pandey, Dr. Anurag Batra, and of course, if I could have the opportunity of having Mr. Naval Ahuja, who's the co-founder of Exchange for Media, to kindly join us on the stage for the first 5. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big, big round of applause. Well, this evening and gathering here is super special, and of course, the 10th year of putting the spotlight on the young guns. Our 10th year anniversary, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let's find out the first person who made it to the Impact Top 30 under 30. Eyes on the screen.
the winner is
Abhishek Malik, Group Creative Manager, Shebang Digital Solutions Private Limited. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let the applause continue. And
I feel creative people like us have this imposter syndrome. हमें हमेशा लगता है रोज सुबह उठेंगे किसी को पता चल जाएगा हमें कुछ नहीं आता. And achieving awards like this just makes it like चलते रहना चाहिए, रुक ना जाए कहीं. So there's burden of winning this, and I hope it continues. So thank you so much to the organizers, to the team, to Shebang team, to my parents, my brother, my partner, and my boss Aditya Mahendle, who made it possible, and the founder of Shebang, Harshal Garia. Thank you so much, guys.
thank you so much.
The bar in Goa is named after him, so if you take his name, you get free drinks, okay? You just have to show a photo with him, they'll allow you in.
Congratulations, Abhishek. Continue making that impact. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, let's find out who's next on our list, who's made it today.
and the winner is
Aditya Shaw, Vice President, Business Transformation, Shebang Digital Solutions. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big, big round of applause. All the young guns in the room, more and more energy. Bigger round of applause, everyone, come on.
Honestly, I'm not one to apply for awards a lot, but this was something I had my eye on for a very long time. It feels great to be among such diverse and amazing talent, and thank you to the jury so much for selecting me. A huge shout out to Sohail and Harshal, who believe so much in me and given me the platform to be here today. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, Aditya. Well, with that, let's go ahead to finding our next one.
and the winner is
Ambika Sinha, Creative Director, The Rabbit Hole, Zoo Media. Let's give our lady a warm round of applause for doing such spectacular work. Congratulations, Ambika. And if you'd like to encourage her, let's give her a bigger round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. More hoots, everyone. Ambika?
I think it's an honor to be here today and get recognized for the work that I have done. And I would like to take this opportunity to give a huge shout out to all the bunnies at the Rabbit Hole and Zoo Media who have kept pushing me, let me be me, do some crazy work. And thank you to everyone here.
Thank you so much, Ambika. Thank you. Well, for our next one in the list, let's see who made it to the Impact Top 30 Under 30.
and the winner is
Apurva Sahai Arzu, Group Head of Wavemaker. Let's give our lady a big, big round of applause for making it to the Impact Top 30 Under 30. Come on, you guys are the young guns, the leaders. Let's continue the applause. Come on, everyone, more and more energy in the room. More hoots for Apurva.
All right, so I had like prepared a really big speech, but I would cut it short and I would dedicate this award to my family sitting here and my omnipresent father who has always believed in me. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, my sister, and all my colleagues that didn't even blink an eye before giving up their support over here. And thank you, my friends. And I'm sure each one of us goes through battles every day, and we've won them every second. And a huge round of applause to everybody over here as well. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let the applause continue as the lady joins the audience. With that, let's find out the next one in our list of Impact Top 30 Under 30.
And the winner is
Ayush Shukla, founder of Keynote Media. Let's give Ayush a big round of applause. Ayush, I want you to run and come to a stage, show us more energy. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big round of applause. Ayush Shukla. What an incredible work. Let's continue applauding and the impact what he's made.
First of all, thank you so much, Impact, for giving us this stage and the award. I think this is my first award, so it's a little extra special. Thank you. I think the only thing I wanted to say here is that I don't think any of us would be standing here winning a 30 under 30 award without our teams. So this one is for my team at Keynote Media. Thank you so much for the support that you show every day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ayush, and congratulations. Well, with that, I'd like to humbly acknowledge all our dignitaries, Dr. Anurag Batra, Mr. Pandey, and Mr. Ahuja. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them both all a big round of applause. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, the celebrations will continue, but we've got so many great leaders, and as we've made it more like the alumni also joining us today, so we're going to be having some great talks from them. I'm sure whatever you hear on the stage is only going to encourage you in your professional endeavors. So let's have a great smile all throughout and a great vibe all throughout. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the evening and the gathering, of course, being our 10th year anniversary as we felicitate the batch of 2023. We thought that why not we celebrate the leaders who've made it on the list in the past decade. So we're very humbled that we have such great leadership amongst us. We feel like a proud institution flaunting our illustrious alumni. Make no mistake, we're definitely going to show off today. So here it is, what we're talking about. We've had some great names in our list whom you all would be aware are the leaders right now. Gautam Raghunath, who's, of course, from Talented. PG Aditya, Talented. We've got Chandni Shah, Connect. We've got Mahesh Amlia from VMLYNR. We've got Ranveer Alabadia, Monk Entertainment. We've got Mihir Karkare, who's from Miram India. Alap Desai, who's ex-Dentsu. We've got Mithila Saraf, famous innovations. We've got Vinayfar Dulani, who's from Talented. We've got Gurjot Shah Singh, Essence, Sahil Shah, Dentsu, Megha Nair, of course, Kara India. We've got Mansi Shah, famous innovations, and Shrenik Gandhi, White Rivers Media, and many more names. Let's give them all a big round of applause. They've been such incredible leaders, and they've brought the credibility to the world of advertising and helped the property of Impact Top 30 Under 30 shine year after year. Some of them, of course, are here with us today, so you'll get the chance to network with them and meet them one-on-one. So with that being said, they are also who can tell our young guns about the big, bad world that they are going to be facing ahead, because they know the obstacles which lie ahead. If not, we have the seniors who are going to be passing down that elusive gyan, as we'd like to call the term, but the knowledge, the anecdotes, which our senior batch member is privy to. First up, let's call upon our first ex-student who made it today. He's somebody who started the agency in 2012, which is committed to hacking subcultures, and today he leads a team of 500 plus, which is bigger than some of the network agencies in India. He was on Impact Top 30 Under 30 list in 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about none other than the co-founder and CEO of White Rivers Media, Shrenik Gandhi. Come on, everyone, let's give him a bigger round of applause.
Okay, so congratulations in advance to a lot of you guys. So back in 2018, when I won this award, of course I went back home proud, humbled, everything. But one thing I didn't know that time, you know, of course there are so many awards which happen in the industry, but this is one special award which is going to stay with you in your signature, in your mind throughout your life. So just let's have a big round of applause for each one of you who have been shortlisted, who are going to be winning today, because this is a tag you're going to carry all your life. So I'm going to be speaking about a category today, which when 2018, when we were, you know, when I'd won this, that category wasn't as big as it is today. This category today is about 220 billion in terms of the audience size. By 2030, this category is going to become 75% of mass consumption in India. The audience which I'm going to be talking about are going to be 75% of the audience of the consuming category in India. It's going to be a 1.3 trillion in terms of size as a category. The category I'm speaking about is Gen Z, right? Now, think of it, right? The way Gen Z buys, the way Gen Z consumes is completely different. How many of you have heard of a Finsta account, a Sinsta account? Traditional marketers, millennial marketers, I'm sure 7 out of 10 marketers wouldn't have heard of a Finsta account, right? Finsta account, for those who don't know, is a fake Instagram account which Gen Z uses to stalk on people, right? Now, marketers don't know about it, right? So there are so many of such things. I'm going to be narrating an incident. Again, let me tangent a bit. One thing which I used to hate in awards is people like me distracting and delaying awards. I'm going to make it super, super quick, right? So I remember I'd visited this Gen Z first event called as All You Can Street. I've narrated the story a couple of times before. So, you know, I went to this particular event. It was like a big event. How many of you have seen All You Can Street at Geo? Raise of hands. Yes, quite some of you. So this event, right, full of Gen Z audience, right? I probably was very few millennials over there. I probably would have been the only person in jeans in that whole entire event. I went to this store. There were a lot of stores which were selling, you know, various clothes, you know, whatever, tracks, pants, and everything. Went to this store. I liked the design, and I was like, boss, can I have a medium size in this one? And the whole store paused, and they kept, you know, everyone started looking at me. Like, yaar, medium size manga hai. Medium is what I wear. Why are you looking at me? And that is when I realized Gen Z does not like to buy with a size in mind. Now think of it. They believe, how can a globally accepted size define the way they consume? If they like a design, they're going to be buying it. Right now that as an insight, you know, completely blew me over. Ki yaar, think of a traditional marketer selling a denim brand, selling a, say, a suiting brand and all. Will they ever think of this insight, right? So this is a category which is completely, you know, redefining the way consumption happens. And if this category is going to be 75% of consumption by 2030, you know, people need to start thinking Gen Z. Now, why am I telling Gen Z to Gen Z today? Because now, after tonight, you guys are going to be a lot more impactful in what you're going to do in your roles, correct? If you're running an agency, if you're working in an agency, if you're working in a brand, you guys are going to be so much more impactful. So start thinking Gen Z first. Start nudging a lot of CMOs to think Gen Z first. And most importantly, start proactively taking a lot of Gen Z first initiatives in life. Because boss, agar 5 saal, 7 saal baad, ye category is going to be 75% of consumption. And aapne usme kafi proactive initiatives liye hai. So it's going to be gold on your resume. So that's my one word of advice. All the very best and congratulations in advance. Thank you.
Yes, I believe the applause can continue for Shrenik. He's done such a amazing, amazing leadership under him, and White Rivers Media has grown so tremendously. Well, ladies and gentlemen, next up is somebody, our next ex-student we're talking about, somebody whose picture, and let me reiterate, his picture made it to Cannes Lion stage even before he did. I don't know how many of you remember 2018 and India's very first Creative Effectiveness Grand Prix, where his photo posed on the Cannes stage along with Harshad and Kenas. And then he went on to win another Grand Prix for VML YNR in 2022. We're talking about the creative director of VML YNR India, Mahesh Amblea, who's going to be joining us now. Let's give him a big, big round of applause. He was in the list of 2017. And let's keep applauding him whilst as we request him to join us on the stage. And let's try and get as creative as we can and talking about advertising for good. Thank you.
Well, I should be the last person in this room that you should be listening to for your advice for the upcoming years, because I'm one of the most junior people. I mean, I don't have an agency. Like, you know, when I was young, I used to think that I would one day want to work for a BBD or a Colenso or an LMAP, right? And within this jury room or the next set of speakers, we have someone like PG Aditya, who has brought home Agency of the Year for India. It's like surreal for us, right? We have another people in the room from Radhipak Das and all the other, Chandni is there, who leads a huge agency. I am not one of those people, and I don't have that in me to run these agencies and all. But the only thing I do well, and the only thing I think I am here for is for good, right? And so when I say good, it doesn't mean you do ideas which win a bigger can, right? It means like, I think a few days ago, Piyush Pandeyji said, you cannot solve the problems of India sitting in your AC office halls, right? Wo nahi hoga. And one of the things that happened after 2018 of Impact under 30 under 30 is that I had severe back pain. One of the doctors said, "Aapko kuch hai nahi. It's a psychological problem." So I said, you know, solution kya hai? He said, do something which you like. So the next month, I went to Myanmar, Bangladesh border, and for a month, I emptied food trucks for people, orphanages. I mean, there are kids there, and you do that for a month, and when you hold a 3-month-old orphan kid in your hand who doesn't have a family, who doesn't have an agency to take them over, because her mother had passed away just last night, and she is just roaming around in random hand stages, right? So when you hold that 3-year-old girl in your hand, the world shifts for you, right? So after coming back, I started my own small charity. I don't talk about it. We never take photos. We don't do any of this stuff, right? So I'm not saying that you need to do all this stuff, but I am saying one of the responsibilities that come after winning an Impact 30 under 30 is that now you are under the spotlight, right? Congrats for winning, but now you are responsible to take the future ahead, right? We at Cannes, so when we meet at Cannes, it's not just, you know, who we won, which agency has won. We also see कि अपना देश कौन से number पे है. Sometimes we are even not able to make it into the top 10 countries in the world at the ranking, right? So you are the ones who in India are the top people, but now you will also be held responsible. I'm saying with a smile, you will be held responsible for taking us to the world stage. And I'm not saying just 2 ideas. I mean, people are there from various business segments. I'm saying make the company responsible for having something for good. It can be sustainability, it can be helping people. Someone just said about global warming. I always have a hidden agenda in every deck I make. 7 ideas होते हैं for the client और एक होता है अरे यार ये तुम please कुछ कर दो इसके लिए, right? And it's like, and the segment is transforming. The younger generation are moving towards brands which actually focus on this sustainability and all the other products. So we are seeing new and new brands which only are being rose out of nothing because they focus on this, right? So I hope that you take the words of Piyush Pandey, not me, right? And go out there, and I hope you move into the direction where you can help us. And I think every time we are lagging in terms of innovation at the world stage, I hope we are the front runners at the world stage, and India is a growing story, right? So I hope the next batch of 30 under 30 can lead us and make us all proud. Thank you.
Let's give Mahesh a big, big round of applause for his encouraging words. And of course, he was being very humble, but of course, we know the kind of work he's done. So let's give him a bigger round of applause for that. So joining us next is somebody who was in the Impact Top 30 Under 30 list in 2016. Somebody who's the co-founder of Connect, a full-service digital marketing agency. Started her own agency when she was only 22 and took it at a great height. And today we're talking about Connect being a part of the reputed FCB group. Her striking spirit and passion for marketing and building brands has made Connect the preferred digital partner for a lot of Fortune 500 businesses. Let's give our hand together for none other than Chandni Shah. Come on, everyone. She deserves a bigger round of applause.
Hi, guys. Congratulations to all the winners today. I'm going to use my phone because I've made some notes. So firstly, I'm really honored that Exchange for Media and Impact had asked me to address the brightest minds in the industry. I got really excited when Neeta called me and she said, listen, will you do a chat? I said, yeah, for sure. I said, but what would be the topic? She's like, I want you to talk about your entrepreneurial journey in the ad world. I'm like, wow, I don't even know where to start. For people who don't know me, I'm Chandni Shah, the founder and CEO of FCB Connect. The advertising industry has actually been amazing for me. I started my journey in advertising when I was 3 years old, and I'm not kidding when I say that. I started as a child model and did over 100 commercials before the age of 6. So like literally the Amul Doodh ad and Nerolac Jab Ghar Ki Raunak Badani Hua. I've literally been in all of those commercials. And that's where the curiosity for the ad world started for me. I was like, I had to be in this space. And how fate had it for me, I actually ended up starting an agency at 22. I started at the time when digital meant putting up Facebook, posts on Facebook, and Facebook like page design defined if you won the pitch or not. And I'm very grateful that post that came this huge wave in the advertising space where digital became what it is today. In my experience, I've actually done it all. And when I say done it all, literally like done it all. You know, being an entrepreneur means you are supposed to know everything and you have to wear many hats. In 2014, we were a very young company with a team of 25. And then there was a time where my entire content team quit on me, which was a team of 6 writers. That's when I felt like, shit, my world is over, and I don't know if I can continue to keep building this company. We weren't even profitable for the first 3 years, so it was a horrible, horrible place to be. And now, thank God, I didn't give up. I went back to my small, dingy office, pretended like a recruiter, set up interviews with myself, interviewed those people, made their offer letters, and brought them back on board. And that's what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Really, like, you have to do what it takes. But building a team has been the most gratifying part of my journey. I think today, if you have the right team, you've actually won most of your battles. The amount of time you spend, putting an effort to win a pitch, that is the level of effort you need to put in to build the right team. I think if you do that, you're home, literally. Today, I actually have my entire team, from our first full-time team member to our first intern, all still at Connect. And that talks about what it means. And it's insanely gratifying to see what they're doing. They're winning at Cannes, they're killing it, they're acquiring some of the best clients. So it's just insanely gratifying. I think the second thing, when you're younger and you're in a leadership position, it's really important to have a strong vision. And we built our vision when we were loss-making. It was like, it was so difficult to really even put out what am I going to do with this company? But we created a vision board. We had created one, which was on a PPT slide, where we had decided to put just large, audacious goals. We had decided we wanted a 200-person team, top line of 50 crores, a sexy office space, ability to do our production, have a Fortune 500 companies on our client roster, build a thriving culture, and win at key industry events. And what we took is we took images from Google that represented all of this and put it on a PPT slide. We actually printed this slide and put it everywhere across all our offices, in my cupboard, on my bedside. And by 2018, we had achieved all of it. So yeah, I mean, having a vision and just really pursuing it, that's what it really takes, man. Yeah. The third thing, when you're an entrepreneur and in your leadership roles, I think is really important is learning and development. I think this is the most important value, and it's a continuous process. It just never stops, and especially if you're in digital, it just doesn't stop. But just like I said, finding the right team is important. Finding the right coach or a mentor is equally important. So all of you guys who are young out there, I found it much later in my life, but I'm saying that you guys are young, you're starting your careers. It's really important that you'll find a great coach, because they go beyond the marker of a P&L. They go and tell you really, they celebrate your successes and then keep you accountable for it. And also, it's really important to double down on your strengths. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing because you guys are rocking it. And it's also really important to have fun while doing what you do. And when I say fun, in my journey in advertising, I've been fortunate to see some awe-inspiring work. And this was the time when in 2019 I felt like, Connect has reached a place where I feel like we've done something amazing. And then I land at Cannes. And I see the work out there, and I'm just like, oh my God, and I see some amazing people out there. And that's when I realized that I'm just getting started. So, I mean, I think it's about, and great people, great conversations, great platform is what I really enjoy, and that's what I mean by having fun at work. Please ensure that you all get that exposure, because when you're in those driving seats, will you all realize what you'll want to go out there and achieve. I even had a chance to actually go through an acquisition process in my entrepreneurial journey, where I met every network head in the country, including global heads like Philippe Krakowski and Sir Martin Sorrell, who created the industry. So I think from an exposure standpoint, I think the advertising industry has so much to give. So just make sure that you dream big and go out there and achieve that. And the last and the most important thing is grit. I think this is really, really important. The tasks that hit my table are the tasks that have passed all the smart people in my company, and then they've reached my table. That means they're insanely complex when I'm trying to build that. I've actually done different things like building capabilities, driving geographies, lived out a suitcase for many, many years. But I think, and also gone through a pandemic, which was really crazy. It's shaken me up. But I think the one thing that's really important is how you show up every day. to have strength of character and the mental fortitude to overcome difficulties and achieve success in the face of adversity. So congratulations again to the 30 under 30 winners. You are the trailblazers, the visionaries, the future of our industry. Your impact is just not what you achieve today, but the legacy you create for tomorrow. Embrace the challenges, stay passionate, keep pushing boundaries. The world of advertising is better because you are in it. Yeah, so give it a big round, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, a bigger round of applause for Chandni. Thank you so much. So, well, it's only getting bigger and better, and we're talking about last up. He's somebody who is the creative industry's blue-eyed boy. Incidentally, he was also one of the jury members to select the winners today. The person behind India's most awarded campaign at Cannes Lions in 2022. We're talking about the Unfiltered History Tour. 3 Grand Prix, 1 Titanium Lion, and an Agency of the Year title. India's proudest win so far at the Mecca of creativity at the Cannes Lions. He was on the Impact Top 30 Under 30 in 2016. We're talking about none other than the co-founder of Talented, PG Aditya.
Would Raj like to join me on stage to make this more interesting? No? Okay. Hello. Super. I think Chandni used, where's Chandni? Chandni stole my childhood career dream. I've been wanting to be a child actor. The trouble is, you can only have the dream of wanting to be a child actor for a few years. You kind of grow out of it, and it's now a little too late. And now the cycle is going to continue. I'm going to try to make my son do it and all that, but this is great. I'm glad I know you. This has been a dream of mine for a very long time. Yeah, so just one congrats to all of the winners. I'd love to know from the group if there is anyone who had applied last year, didn't get through, applied again this year and got through. Damn, you guys are good. Okay, amazing. Okay, so I'm going to come to the just a small couple of pieces. I did not realize that this would be a AC positive event, so the shorts is clearly not working, and I'm very cold as we speak. But still, so how many of y'all, just the winners, could y'all raise your hands, please, just for a second? Okay, fantastic. How many of y'all are good at this whole networking thing? No? Okay, clap your hands if you suck at networking. Wonderful, wonderful, okay. So, yeah, you kind of have to stop sucking at networking now. I don't think there's a choice. I think amongst everything that everyone has told you today here is true. I'm just going to add 2 very small things. You have to stop sucking at networking. It doesn't matter if you're actually good or actually bad at it. Nobody cares. Just do it. I kind of feel it's one of those things where you have to stop. You have to stop, like, you know, the whole I have to be myself kind of thing. It's fine if you're not yourself. It's perfectly fine. Pretend you're an extrovert who knows how to do networking really well. Go have cons there. For all you know, the other person's also pretending. And trust me, I suck at networking so badly. I am still a pretend extrovert. Genuinely not. And I think, like your portfolio, I think networking will also happen with a ton of bloopers in the beginning. I will share one blooper just so you all know that it can get that bad, and anything above this is great. So this was funnily enough, as luck would have it, this was at Cannes. This was my first year at Cannes, like whatever, about a little more than half a decade ago. There was one of India's biggest creative leaders. I won't name them because they would be embarrassed to be part of this story. There is no other reason. But there was one evening party that was happening after one of the events, and it was my first year over there. And when you suck at networking, right, you don't know the rules, so you don't know how to play it cool. So you kind of just go like 4 steps ahead and ask questions that you're only supposed to ask by the 4th or 5th meeting, like directly. I didn't know that, I just went for it. And this was in whatever, 2015, 2016 types. And I kind of just, like, there was this person was, I was a few drinks down, they were a few drinks down, etc. And I don't know why I was so riled up. So I just went to them and I'm like, you know, there's so much going on in our country, right? Why aren't you doing something about it? I spoke to them like they were a politician. No, they were like, and the kind thing is, and that's the one really kind thing about our industry's veterans, they don't judge you for making networking mistakes. I have actually seen that to be a supremely kind thing, because I've also seen parallelly in other industries where young people get totally judged basis the way in which they network, and that gets remembered. Oh yes, I remember what you said in that party that day ago, ha ha ha. Trust me, I think the advertising veterans, they know how to take it easy. They know how to forgive you for general mistakes that you might kind of make. So yeah, I think especially if you suck at networking, don't worry about it. Just keep doing it, keep pretending, and at some point it'll all kind of work out. That's one. And secondly, one small regret that I have from my 2016 impact situation is, Chandni, you and I were part of the same batch, right? Have we ever spoken since then? Yeah, why? Why didn't we do that? The thing is, and I'd like to think that we were not the only antisocial batch, but generally, I don't know if there is a culture amongst impact winners to actually get to know each other really well. A new employee at your firm might be one of you guys. Your next co-founder, if you choose to start up, might be in this very room. So yes, please network with the industry veterans. They have a ton to share. But also, please get to know each other beyond the general formal boundaries of, oh, where do you work? I work here. What are you working on? Blah, 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 blah. Like, that'll take 5-6 minutes. Try to get past that and try to have a real conversation. How many of y'all have studied advertising to be in this industry? Okay, super. Wonderful. So that's like 20%, right? Pretty much? Okay. So it's a funny thing in our industry. Like, it's not like medicine, let's say, where academia and the industry are so closely linked together, right? Like, the AIMS campus and the AIMS college are literally right next to each other. You can see how closely linked education and work is, for instance, in medicine. That's also one of the reasons where you can't have a surgeon come into a room and go, screw the books. I'm going to operate the way I want. But it happens in our line of work a lot, right? Screw whatever Kotler said, screw whatever. I mean, all of the books, sir, which you kind of mentioned in the beginning, all of them have tremendous gems, but I'm sure there'll be people reading those books and also saying, screw what's written in the book, I will go by instinct. Can't happen in some other fields. I guess that's also because what that's kind of made education become in our line of work is your batch essentially becomes your syllabus. This might be true of all of the people who have studied. How many of you all studied advertising? How many of you all are still in touch with the people who you all studied advertising with? How many of you all have dreams to probably work with the people that you studied advertising with? 1, 2? Yeah? Okay. So I call it frepotism. Frepotism is nepotism with friends. We do frepotism all the bloody time in our line of work. It's what keeps the wheel spinning round and round. People who instinctively vibe with others, who find a genuine intellectual energy between the two. They also happen to get along really well. They also happen to be friends, and boom, they figure a way to work together. Trust me, this is our like lifeblood. This is how we end up doing a lot of the good work that we do. So y'all should consider tonight almost like, there's a reason why this whole thing has a very campus type feel. I know y'all didn't like all of the winners. I know y'all didn't study together, but consider yourself a batch. Please get to know each other as you would get to know a batchmate from college, and please feel free to practice as much prepotism as you can. Have a great night.
Check. Let's give a bigger round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Aditya, for joining us on that. And I could hear a lot of fond hoots for you from the audience. So that just speaks a lot about the kind of work you've done in the industry. Well, with that being said, it is now time for us to move to a very interesting part of the day, where you, the winners, would get an opportunity to speak with the idols in advertising. Our team has curated one of the best panels for all of you to interact. Of course, there'll be questions curated which have been thrown off by the moderator, but also if time allows, we'd like to give the opportunity to all the winners as well today. Maybe a couple of questions as time permits. As the team is setting up stage, these are the ones who have had a lasting impression on the advertising world, and we're going to be shortly calling each and every one. But before we call them on the stage, just by show of hands, how many of you have started tweeting already? If not, I would request you, we're going to hear so much. Tomorrow, all of us are going to get busy once again. Let's utilize this opportunity and, of course, get on with the networking within, amongst the list as well, amongst all you winners as well. So on that note, let's begin. Let's call upon our leaders on the stage. First up, we're talking about none other than the global partner, FCB, Rohit Ori. Let's give him a warm round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Ori, for joining us. Such an absolute pleasure. Come on, let's give him a bigger round of applause. What an honor to have you, Mr. Ori, to join us. Yes, please, sir. Next up, the Chief Creative Officer and CEO, Leo Burnett, South Asia, India, and Chairman, Creative Council, Publicis Group, South Asia. We're talking about Raj Deepak Das. Let's give Raj Deepak a warm round of applause. Thank you, Raj Deepak, for joining us. Hugs on the stage from all the leaders. I'd now like to re-invite, and I think we need more and more wisdom from the co-founder, talented PG Aditya, back on the stage. Let's give him once again a warm round of applause whilst as we welcome him. Next up, the CEO of Starcom India, Rati Ganapal. Let's give ma'am a warm round of applause. It's such an immense pleasure having Rati join us. And now for the moderator of the panel discussion, I'd like to re-invite Associate Editor, Impact Magazine, Neeta Nair, to join us. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue the applause.
I also want to, Bhavna is very good at what she does, but I also want to acknowledge the presence of our chief guest, Mr. Sanjiv Mehta, who's the chairman of Unilever, was chairman, now Mr. Paranjpa is, but Mr. Sanjiv Mehta is here. And that's what matters. Please give our chief guest a big round of applause. Bigger round of applause. I know you have drinks, so.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anurag Batra. Well, ladies and gentlemen, come on, a bigger round of applause, yeah? Thank you so much, sir. Anita, over to you.
No, Anita's has the best. Don't compete.
Hello? If you ever happen to walk into a room where two editors of magazines or websites are venting,
you're probably going to hear these following lines. You know, the youngsters today, they have no dedication. You know, they put two sentences together without making a spelling mistake. And God save you if you try to point out a factual error to them. And I'm guilty of partaking in such conversations, so I'm very, very keen on understanding what life looks like on the other side. The advertising world which we report on day in and day out. And I have with me some stalwarts from the advertising industry today, and they're going to tell me whether they have a love-hate relationship with their juniors. So Rohit, you're the senior most person here, and I really want to start with you. What?
It's only age that she's talking about.
So what do you think about the youngest batch of professionals at FCB?
About the youngest guys, I think they're great. You didn't expect any other answer from me, right? So, you know, the thing is that this is something that we do at FCB really is what we call the Star One program, right? So the Star One program is where we bring in our young management trainees, and we spend like almost 3 months with them. It's a completely like a training program where they're not put into the work. They don't go into, you know, thrown in on the deep end into work as usual. And they get to bond with each other, like what we're saying, you know, we create the batch of, right? So the batch of Star One 2023 has just come in, and they have a great bond because that's the best way actually to create the agency culture and also to keep the network, right? Because they go into different departments, they go to different cities, but the network stays, right? So every year the network builds into the agency. And I think that's something we are really, really proud of, you know, as a program. And I think spending those 3 months with them gives them the best chance to succeed, right? And also, you know, we always talk about that young people don't find advertising interesting enough. I think we are to blame for that because, you know, a lot of these young kids come in with dreams and aspirations about what they will do in an agency. But, you know, they start doing just the chasing of artworks and the, you know, without understanding what they could possibly do. So we spend a lot of time talking about what is the journey going to be for them, right? From where they start to where they finish. And actually in FCB, it's amazing. We've got 3 people who started as Star One management trainees. One is our CEO. The second is our CCO.
Could you name them, please?
Yeah, so Kulwinder Aluwalia, he's the CEO of FCB Ulka. Rakesh Menon, he's the CCO of Interface, right? And then there's Ruchita, and our group chief talent officer is Star One as well. So, you know, it's very rare to find an environment where you can keep an employee who's come in as a management trainee in today's world, right? And keep them for, you know, engaged in the company and contributing for over 20 years.
He's saying all the nice things, but I want to come to something very interesting. We'll talk about skills and, you know, what talent they have and what they bring to the table a little later. I want to understand about the attitude. You know, today the way the youngsters approach the profession is very different from what our generation or, you know, your generation did. So I want to understand from you, what do you think about the way they are coming to office and the way they talk to you and the way they present their ideas on the table? You know, a simple example is they don't ask, they tell you. So is that happening at the agencies, and is that something that you're very happy about?
I think it's good, yeah. So look at the rock stars here. Come on, 30 under 30. Come on, yeah, so look at them. We have to listen to them. They know exactly what's happening. No, I think it's wrong to say that. They know, they come and say, no. No, there are different people in my generation or his generation or her generation. I love the way you say it's my generation, no, your generation, the way you said that. Okay, and it's always every generation got rebels and every generation got mavericks. And mavericks are always amazing, and every generation got hungry people. and talented people. And I think it's wrong to say that this generation don't listen. No, they listen. They are amazing, and I can see the rock stars here. 2 of them are sitting at the back, not in the front, that's why. See the rock stars. It's amazing to see how they change things and how hungry they are. They want to do it. One of them is here. That's why I was screaming for PG, right? You can see that they want to do things and they want to make things different. And that's good. If you don't challenge, if you don't ask questions, and you don't say, this is wrong, can I do it 10 different ways? Then you're better to be in bank.
A little later, they're going to ask you questions, very pointed ones, so we're going to wait for that. Before that,
Neeta, I just wanted to add something. As part of the jury for 30 under 30, I think, at the end of all the presentations, there was one thing that actually stayed with me was the enormous amount of confidence and, the way these, all of them actually, winners or all the rest of them who presented, it gave me an enormous amount of satisfaction saying that, this advertising industry, at least in India, is going to do well.
I mean, also, when we started off, you had a very clear path, right? You have to do this, you have to move into this role, you have to move into this position to probably come to where you are today, right? I don't think it's a straight path anymore, and the opportunities that are there for them, and also the way the young guns, like you call them, are embracing those opportunities, or probably taking a change in course, right? Shifting gears. It's also that the environment today is giving you those opportunities, but the fact of the matter is that they want to step out there and say that I will do something different, or I can change course. I really don't have to follow the same path as probably like what I might have done, right? I think that to me is being brave and, to stepping up there and, taking, kind of grabbing the opportunities by the horns, right? I think I see that a lot, and, echoes what you said in terms of the confidence. And it's the 30 under 30 this time, I think, is varied in terms of the different backgrounds and the capabilities that they bring to the table. So that's another thing that you're seeing today, right? So, I mean, I don't know. Our generation might not have been that way, right? You had a goal that you were after, a steady path that you wanted to go after, yeah.
PG, I'd like to
Probably
come.
not you, PG, but
I don't know what he's doing here.
Yeah, we don't know.
Because he's like 30 under 30.
Yeah, he's 30 under 30 or 40 under 40. And
He's actually closer to this generation than all of us. So I guess, PG, coming to you, what is your expectation when you hire somebody from the youngest of the younger lot sitting in this room, or even otherwise, for talented, which is again a new age agency?
Check. So, but trying to, I think a lot of us would probably feel that years of experience as an objective parameter for hiring is no longer valid. There are, in fact, I think how to punch above your weight while still having only single-digit figure experience is exactly what this event is all about, right? So we try to not to keep years of experience as a metric at all. What we probably expect, so talented as such is not a good place for a first job at all. It's actually not. Because I think it's not a good place to learn. It's hopefully a good place to do a lot of stuff, which if you already have that in your head, right? So I think some of what do you say, the archetype, so to speak, we're not that big also. We're barely 50 people so far, but I think the archetype is someone who spent some time in the industry, who has a lot of ideas and solutions and things that they want to do in their head, and they're super pissed off about the fact that they have not been able to do it in their current job. So you come to Talented and you puke, and you vomit as much as you can and get that dopamine. I think that's ideally the kind of profile that we'd go for. So one of the most beautiful things about our line of work is I was talking to one of my ex-colleagues who had moved in-house to an in-house creative team, and I was asking her, I was like, so what do you do? I was asking her, I'm like, so what do you do when you get a random idea? Like, let's say you get an idea to save this species of turtle, or to fix education in this particular state. What do you do? Okay. And she was like, no, nothing. I write it in my journal and I move on. And I'm like, that is so sad. That is so sad. The very nature in our line of work is any random thing that can come into your head. If it is really good, it is in your company's business interest to make it happen. I don't think, and I kind of feel like a lot of times we forget what a brilliant privilege that is. So I guess one caveat is just have a lot of things in your head already. The best people in everyone's team over here, I'm sure they already have 20, 30, 40 ideas, which they're like, you give me the money, you give me this thing, I like, and their whole next 10 years of folio is already made. Those are already in their heads. So that's the kind of energy which I think fits currently for Talented right now.
Just one quick question to all of you before we come to the audience questions, the winner questions. What is it that they bring to the table? What is that one quality that the youngsters have, which this generation can't have, doesn't have?
Your shot. So I think, what they bring to us is actually bravery, because with their ideas and their freshness of approach, I think we, as people who've been in the business for a very long time, I think we tend to become braver in this world, right? And I'm saying that whole thing of being pushed almost into bravery. It's like a bungee jump. Suddenly somebody kicks you off the thing and you're going down. That was a kick. So the thing is that, and I just enjoy that because it takes you to places you haven't really been to before. And I think that's, the imagination of this generation.
Just adding to what Rohit was talking about, right? It's about whole host of energy. And also, I think the ability to change course, and I think going back to the earlier idea that I spoke about, just being a whole lot more agile, right? The ability, I mean, you're talking about a future which is shape-shifting, right? I mean, that's what everybody is saying. You're talking about digital transformation, you're talking about all those cliched words that you might want to use, right? But still, it is the reality today. And how you're able to embrace the changes, right? I think they are a lot more adept, they're a lot more agile, and also a lot more energetic, I guess. So, yeah.
What does the current generation have which we feel we should have had? I think you'll have amazing bosses. I think your bosses are way better than our bosses. And that's, no, but I think they've actually done a really good job of getting their leadership to like sit up and take notice of what their expectations are overall. I think I remember like a lot of us from about 10, 12, 15, 20 years ago, a lot more reticent to talk about our expectations. So they've actually made their leadership a whole lot better. And which is why I kind of feel like hopefully they also feel like they're getting the best version of their leadership, because I can genuinely see like there are people who have zero need, and I'm talking about folks who have like 20, 30 years of experience in the industry, who have zero need to upskill. They've proved everything, but they're still upskilling because something about impressing the folks who are on the floor still appeals to them. And they want to be, your bosses want to be in your good books. I think y'all are in a huge position of power to kind of make that happen. And at the same time, I think it works out well for the leadership because we get to like upskill because of you guys. So someone was mentioning a little earlier about reverse mentorship. I think one request from me is feel free to like do the reverse mentorship thing without coming across as threatening. I think a lot of times maybe there is a little bit of reticence to be like, I wish my boss did this in that way, but how do I kind of tell them? I think that is actually just a matter of finding the right words in the vocabulary. From what I can see, I think the tides have changed to a level where even if your leadership is one where they actually implement what you're saying or not, I don't think anyone can not afford to listen anymore. So you're in a huge position of power on that. So yeah. Executed well.
Actually, you can't be as a leader, right? It's no longer about being a boss. I mean, I think you can't lead anymore. I think it's more of being a mentor or a coach. I think it's changing for us as well, as leaders.
No, I think they have more empathy. They have any day more empathy. You know what I mean? I think they care for a lot of things. They care for people and they care for planet a lot. I think it's 30 years back or 20 years back, we never knew what is the, we never understood about global warming. It is, we never knew what it was actually, very frankly speaking. We heard about it in some UN talks and everything, but I never saw it coming. We never understood diversity that much. They really care about things and actually make you feel and realize a lot of things, good way. Because my daughter is 12 years old. I remember there was a list came of influencer people and everything. So my wife, Resham, went and told your papa is part of that. I said, oh, fantastic. Is Greta Thunberg is in that? He says, no, I don't think that list counts. You know, and that shows how much they care about planet and people. And I know that we're going to see more and change, push us to change things. Thank you.
From what I gauge, you have big cheerleaders in these four. So remember that when you ask them the questions. So we're going to come over to you and put them in the hot seat. We've asked you to send us some questions and we picked a few people. So let's start with Atrey Nag from DDB Mudra. Atrey, are you here? Hi Atrey. You want to go ahead and ask your question? You can also tell us who you want to address it to.
Hi everyone, good evening. Thank you for being here. I am Atrey. I work as a senior strategist at DDB Mudra. And I remember seeing all of you at the jury meet, so nice to see you again. My question was actually a little long-winded and Neeta told me to keep it short, so I'm just going to try my best to do that. When I was young, I did not want to be in advertising. I wanted to be a doctor, and clearly I have strayed very far from that path. But I want to understand, we understand the kind of impact our work has on everyday life, because an ad is not just an ad. It makes you feel something, and then after that, perhaps buy what you saw in the product window. But I don't think everyone else who is not in the industry understands the kind of profound impact that our work has on everyday life. So how do other people not just realize that, but also respect it?
Can I just talk about
You
it?
will have all of us competing to give you an answer on this.
No, I will answer it because my parents are doctor and I don't never want to be a doctor. Okay, that's why I thought I will answer you. See, what we do is not just advertising. Advertising was done, TV series was done much before, I think 10 years, 15 years back. Now with everything that we have, all the weapons that we have, I'm not telling you the weapons of mass destruction, all that, what do you call that, ideas, technology, data, empathy, sustainability, a lot of things that we have, actually use those as part of our weapons. We can impact people's life. We can change things. And trust me, this is the right time when the movement is happening. And I've never been so excited in advertising than now. You can impact people's life as a finance-wise. You can work with a fintech and change things. You can work with a Healthian or any health brand and make sure that how can the, health brands get into that farthest part of the country. Name any brand. I'm just telling you one brand. Name any brand and what they can do now. It's not just TVCs. They have money, they have power, and most importantly, they need ideas. And we can do that. No other industry have the fun that we have it. We get up in the morning, we work with the best clients with the billions of dollars, wanting to change people's life, impact billion people's life, and we have it now. Nothing and never in the history of advertising or media have the power now. We have it, and we will do it. I promise you.
So, great question. You're going to get multiple answers. Sorry, with your permission. Okay, super. Listen, when a guy like Raj is being an optimist with the amount of experience that he has, I think all of us have enough and more reason to continue staying optimists. I do relate to what you said. I remember there was a point where I was probably like a year into coming to Bombay in 2012. One of the most impressive people back then in our teams. I was a junior copywriter back then in our teams. He was leaving the industry and he was going to go to Europe and study and whatever, right? He was a sweet guy. He was writing mails to everyone individually as one thank you mail. And the mail he wrote to me, and I was a few months old, not even a year old, a few months old. But I was a new guy in Bombay. I was like, whatever, like burn the midnight oil, afternoon oil, morning oil, evening oil, whatever it takes to work types. And I remember him telling me, he's like, PG, don't waste your passion on advertising. Use it for a higher art form, okay? And since that day, I've been wanting to prove him wrong. I think a lot of us, most creative people have been pressurized into needing to develop an inferiority complex. In our line of work, we have been told that this is one of the lowest art forms, and the higher art forms are film, music, dance. Anthony Bourdain made cooking an art form, where even below that, architecture, you name it. However, I kind of feel on the contrary about it, seeing like what Raj said, right? Like advertising is a slightly perverted art form. It's when you buy a book, you pay for the book. When you watch a film, you pay for the film. When you really like an ad, you pay for something else, right? You don't pay for that. And I think that's a little, it makes us look at it as a warped art form because it's the only art form that's actually free. And we don't respect things that are free in that nature. So it is a commentary on human nature more than advertising. Having said that, is there a need for creative people to take up more space and develop a very healthy and necessary ego? Absolutely. I think the way that, right from the way that if we stop identifying as the lowest art form in the first place and have a vocabulary that pitches us against every other art form, then we'd actually know where we stand. Because trust me, advertising, like Raj said, advertising makes a bigger impact on people on an everyday basis than books, films, music combined, because it's basically a world, right? And you can't ignore it. And our responsibility for what kind of art form needs to be comes from the fact that no one can stop seeing us. Even if you're in music, you can say that, who's going to listen to this? But the point is you put a billboard out there and everyone gets to see it. So now it's on you what you want to do after that, right? So we are very, very much an art form. Banksy once commented about how he was so jealous of artists being taken away by an industry like advertising instead of coming into something like graffiti, right? We made Banksy jealous. So I kind of feel it needs to start at a healthy ego, but thank you for the question. I think everyone would appreciate that.
I think in the interest of time, we'll have to move on, but we'll take some of the questions offline if that's okay with the jury members.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, fabulous. So
Thank you for that. Well, I know the questions. Tough one.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you,
a big
everyone.
round of applause. We'd request you to please step in the center for a photograph. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hold your horses as we've got yet another surprise for you just on the other side of this conversation. And of course, we're going to be recognizing the top 30 under 30, the ones who made such fabulous impact. And we request the team to kindly clear the chairs whilst as we get ready for our next conversation. So, in interest of time, I'm going to take the liberty of calling upon our next person. You thought Impact 30 under 30 couldn't get any better? Let me tell you, that's not the case. We've just upped your expectations as we have with us our chief guest, whom Dr. Batra rightly acknowledged just about a few minutes back. Somebody who's a visionary, the winner of Impact Person of the Year 2021. His iconic position in HUL is an inspiring story for a lot of young professionals. And we truly haven't met anyone in the industry, if we may say, who doesn't admire this gentleman. The manner in which he steered HUL to its growth today has been iconic and legendary. For a long time, I've been curious about his early days as a professional in this industry, and thankfully today, we're so blessed that we have him amongst us, and he's going to be sharing his tidbits today. Ladies and gentlemen, with a warm, warm round of applause, it is time for me to welcome our chief guest for the event, former chairman and CEO HUL, President Unilever South Asia, currently President Commissioner Unilever Indonesia, and non-executive board member of Air India and Danone France. We're talking about none other than Mr. Sanjiv Mehta.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Yeah, first, congratulations to the organizer. What a wonderful setting it is. Yeah, having the under 30 awards in a pub. It couldn't have been better. So thank you, the team, for organizing this. And what I would like to do is not give a big speech. I think the best thing would be, I'll open it up. I love the format. Ask the questions, and you'll get a perspective. So let's open it up and ask me any questions with a very clear rider that no question is a bad question.
So we're going to be passing the mic. We can see our, no, not here, ma'am. That side? Yeah. You'd like to ask a question? Please stand up. Check.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Loud and clear.
I'm just going to say that.
All right. So my question is, while all workplaces strive to strike a balance between female and male, equations, but female professionals have to battle unsaid, intangible prejudices. For example, male group burdenism. While it's prevalent in both genders, it is extremely tough for female next-gen leaders to figure out their way to grow into that career where there is a lot of top management as male members and female top leaders are there for namesake. And these are very unsaid things that happen in our industry where a lot of people are appointed just to show there's diversity. But how do we grow in our careers fighting these odds?
Thank you for that question. Now, I come from a family where I have a wonderful wife, Mona, and we have two great twin daughters. Yeah, and I've been greatly influenced by my grandma, who was, she passed away at a very ripe age of close to 100. And she was a matriculate. And when she would come and stay with us, and I would come back from work, she would sit with me and ask me, what did I do the whole day? And she would have an opinion on it. Yeah? And so I believe that humanity has done injustice to women. If you go back to Vedas, yeah, women were equal partners. But over the years, there has been injustice. When I took over as the CEO of HUL, we had 18% women in management. When I left, we had 46% women in management. Yeah? And a clear pathway that in another 2 years, we would be gender balanced. When it comes to women, I think the most important thing you have to do is don't try to be like men. You don't have to be like men to succeed. You have to be absolutely comfortable in your skin. You bring in strengths which men don't have. And you will be able to blossom only when you're able to play to your strengths. Yeah, very often, in most organizations, they focus on how do we help people improve their development needs. Yeah. Beyond a point, that's the wrong way to look at it. We need to ask ourselves, how do we play to a person's strengths? Yeah. When you're comfortable under your skin, you will excel in what you do. Yeah, I come from a consumer goods industry. Now just look at the business case. 75% of the decisions are taken by women. Yeah? Most of our consumers are women. Our shoppers are women. Won't it be sad if we do not represent the consumer base in our management team? So there is a very strong business case. Leave aside the social justice part. Yeah, and today I have seen, forget India. Before coming to India and South Asia, I used to run the Unilever business in North Africa and Middle East. And when I took over as the chair in 2008, we had only 2 women working in our Saudi office. Yeah? Now, Saudi Arabia, today under Mohammed bin Salman, is a much more progressive country. This was, we're talking about 15 years back, very different scenario. And when I left as the chair of North Africa, Middle East, we had 48 women working in our office. And, first very important bit was that we said, we have to make Unilever Arabia the best place for women to work for. And that time we had a rule that you need to have a separate physical space for women. And to meet the laws of the country, we had to do that. But the women we recruited, none of them ever sat there. Because that's the kind of comfort we had done. Then we had a law in Arabia that if you want to travel outside your country, you need a written permission of your husband or your guardian. Yeah? So what I said is, that applies when you travel alone. Yeah? You bring anyone along with you, and we will pay the money for that person. Yeah? Now, you have to create both the hardware and the software. But women, you have to assert yourself. That part no one is going to do for you. You will have good bosses who will support you, who will be your sponsor. But at the end of the day, you need to pick up the challenge and come from a belief that you can do most jobs which men can do. That's how we have grown up our daughters. I'll give you an insight. We have got 2 wonderful twin daughters. Yeah, they are now entrepreneurs and they are building the brands in the right possible way. And when we had our twin daughters, my wife Mona was very clear. We don't want to have a 3rd child. And you know why? Because she said, I don't want my daughters to feel that we had a 3rd child because we wanted a boy in the family. That is the kind, and a lot of it has to do with you women yourselves. So, today the world is at your feet. I don't think, at least in my lifetime, there's been a better opportunity for women to succeed in India and at the world at large. Yeah.
Do we have any further questions? Yes, ma'am. Can we get a mic passed to the lady out here? And maybe request everyone in the room to kindly maintain the decorum. Thank you.
You have a loud enough voice.
Interviewing for my first job back at Lich. First of all of my first brands, everything I started with HUL.
Yeah, because they are the best brands in the world.
And I remember my first question with my creative director back then was, I think I must have mentioned that I'm a person of strong morals and ethics. And he had asked me in my interview, do you think you're well suited for advertising then? And I am sure he didn't mean it in a bad way. I'm sure he was leading to some place, but I think that's something that's always stuck in my head. As a person who's been leading Unilever for so long, with numerous brands under your portfolio, where does that line, or how do you balance that morals and ethics versus selling a product in whatever capacity possible? Like, how do you do that?
No, thank you for that. You know, first, most importantly, you have to come from a perspective that business is a force for good. And the brands also are a force for good. Yeah, many times people get a perspective that the age and the days of brand are over. They're completely wrong. Yeah, because brands are not going anywhere. And the most important bit, when you look at it from a brand perspective, is again a purpose. The second is performance. And I think in today's world, thanks to data and technology, personalization. Yeah. Now, brand has to have a point of view. A point of view doesn't mean that you will end up greenwashing. Or just for the sake of having a point of view, you would articulate something which has got nothing in sync with the essence of a brand. Your brand say and your brand do have to move in tangent. If you don't do it, it will be called off very soon. You have to look at examples of timeless brands. Yeah? And let me give you a small example. You know, let me pick up one of my favorite brands, Lifebuoy. And Lifebuoy is all about health, family health. And this was during COVID. Yeah? And all of us, this was the first wave of COVID. Most of us were ensconced in our homes. We were operating from home. But we were into essential goods. Our factories were running, the people on the feet on the ground, our distribution was running. And I used to do virtual factory visits. And in one of the visits, I asked a factory shop floor blue-collared worker कि आपको फैक्ट्री आने में डर नहीं लगता है? तो वो बोलता है कि मुझे डर तो लगता है साहब. तो मैंने बोला आपकी फैमिली आपको आने देती है? बोलता है नहीं साहब, जब तक हम वापस नहीं जाते हैं उनको बड़ी बेचैनी रहती है. तो मैंने बोला आप क्यों आते हैं फैक्ट्री? He stopped, looked back. From a soap line which was running, he picked up a bar of Lifebuoy, showed it to me and said, "Saab, isse desh ki suraksha hogi." That's what purpose is all about. Yeah, if your consumers can think in that way, then you have delivered the brand promise. But you have to live up to it. It can't be that a brand doesn't deliver on the promises that you make. So if someone asks you that, hey, young lady, create an advertising which has got nothing to do with the functionality of the product or the essence of the brand, put your foot down and say, no, that's not what I'm going to do. But if you stick to the brand promise, the essence of the brand, and it is in sync with the functionality of the product, then you can become as creative as possible and traverse from the minds of the consumers to the heart of the consumers. That's how you build great brands. So stick to your values.
Good evening, Mr. Mehta.
Hi, good evening.
As the former chairman of Hindustan Unilever, I have a question for you. How do you or your former company feels about losing out on one of your biggest talents, the legendary, iconic comedian Johnny Lever? And if the younger people in the room probably don't know the anecdote, if you would like to share that with us. But yes, how do you or your company feel about losing out on one of your biggest
How
talents?
do I?
Or your former company feels about losing out on your biggest talent, which is the comedy icon Johnny Lever. Yes.
So let me tell you, I think the most important bit is, an institution is more important than any individual. Yeah, Hindustan Unilever has been in the country for 90 years, and during this 90-year period, it has been a market leader. We would like it to remain the market leaders for 90 more years and beyond. So that's the first important bit. Institution is bigger than any individual. The second important bit is, very often we are the employer of choice. There have been about, last count, around 500 CXOs in India and abroad who proudly wear a badge. We have been trained by Hindustan Unilever. That's the reason it's called as the CEO factory. Yeah. Now I have a perspective here. Many times people ask me, you have lost a talent. So I'm very clear that if we have lost a talent, then that company needs that talent more than what we do. And for me, it's a service to the nation. We provide talent to India Inc. Right? Now, for me, working for Unilever was not just a job. Yeah, it was an emotion. I might not have got the $60 billion of market cap that I created, but I felt the same way as if I owned the company. That's the owner's mindset. Yeah? So that's the same philosophy with which we build leaders in the company. And I would like HUL to flourish, but I would never look back. I was a trustee. I ran the business for 10 years. I left it better than what I inherited the business. And now we have got a great set of leaders who will take it to the next milestone, to the next height. That's what great companies are. There has to be a smooth succession. For me, I'm excited about my next journey. So watch the space.
Do we have further questions? Yes. Hi. Can we have a mic, please, passed? And just to say it's the last question because we really have to go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Mehta, for your time. So, last question.
Hi. I think the question that Pratul was asking was about Johnny Lever. He said, how do you feel about losing one of your talents in the form of Johnny Lever? And would you
Johnny Lever, I'm sorry I didn't get you. Okay.
So I'll use my question to clarify Pratul's if you want to narrate that anecdote.
Sorry, thank you for that. I'm sorry, I didn't get your question. And, Johnny Lever, there have been many creative, great people working in our company. And we always celebrate them. And that is the reason we have a very strong alumni network. You often say that a person leaves the company, but his connections with HUL never die. Yeah, so whether it is Johnny Lever or any other Lever, yeah, I would say that when he used to work for us, whoever used to work for us, our objective would have been to get the best out of them. And even when they leave the organization, our objective is to ensure that they remain proud of the company. So it's not about a particular individual. I think it applies to everyone who works for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, a big, big round of applause. Well, thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time. We'd request your presence now on the stage and continue with our celebration. With that being said, it is time to get ready for our declaration of the list. We've already announced 5. We've got 24 more. Remember that there's no particular ranking. It's just the list which is getting declared. And also requesting next up, if we could have Mr. Naval Ahuja, and if I could have the honor of having Dr. Anurag Batra once again to join us back on the stage. And if we could have the Managing Director, BBH India, Himanshu Saxena, and Executive Director, Madison World, Lara Balsara. Let's give all of them a big, big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to have the list and the winners now being declared. Himanshu? Okay, all right. So let us go on and continue with the Impact Top 30 Under 30. Can we have the next winner on the screen?
And the winner is
Atray Senior Strategist, DDB Mudra Group. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Atray a big round of applause. Our celebrations continue, and this is the way we'd like to acknowledge each other with a greater round of applause amongst each other. Atray Senior Strategist, DDB Mudra Group. Love to hear from you.
Hi again, everyone. I'm not going to speak too much because I already did, but I want to thank everyone here, Exchange for Media Impact, all my bosses and colleagues over the years who I have entertained and irritated in equal measure. Thank you for tolerating me and teaching me so much. And also big congratulations to all the fellow winners, nominees, and shortlists. I look forward to getting to know all of you, as PG said, even though we hate networking. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thanks so much. Well, we're going ahead with our next Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023. Eyes on the screen.
and the winner is
Ashran Dhananjayan, founder and CEO, 88GB Business Solutions Private Limited. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, a bigger round of applause. For everyone, let the momentum continue. Let's acknowledge each other. Arjun, we'd like you to say a few words.
Thank you so much for this award. So my mother and father were supposed to come here, but they had an even bigger celebration. My sister gave birth to her second baby. They are watching it live. Thanks for the live also. So I would like to tell them, because they still insist me to go and collect my MBA degree, because right after my final semester I started this up. So I really feel that this will be a good honor for them. I tell them I'll someday go and collect it for sure. So I'm really happy, and I thank the entire team, because when we started up right before pandemic, a lot of people trusted in us, even my own classmates, my friends. So it's purely a team effort, and I thank each and everyone who contributed at 88GB from day one. So it's been an absolute pleasure to be here amongst the best in the industry. Thank you so much.
So have you finished your MBA or not yet?
I completed it.
But you haven't collected your degree. Well done.
Thank you so much. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. A bigger round of applause. Congratulations, Arjun. Well, it's only getting bigger and better. Let's find out the next winner in the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
and the winner is
Ayush Wadhwa, founder and CEO, OWL. Let's give Ayush a big, big round of applause. Come on, all the young leaders in the room tonight, let's give a bigger, bigger round of applause for each and every one, as you're going to be leading it from the front all throughout. Ayush Wadhwa, founder and CEO of OWL. Ayush?
wow. I think 12 years of creating content. I started at 13 in a small town of Rohtak. 4 failed companies, multiple failed agencies. I think, I don't think this award's for me. I think the only difference between the 4 failed companies and the one which is somewhat working is the team. I think just learned that a business is not built with one person. I was very sort of skeptical of taking this award simply because I don't think Owl could have been where it is today in the last 3 years if it wasn't for the incredible team supporting it. So I think just this is an award to all the 50-odd team members that we have. But thank you so much. Really appreciate the honor that you've given me. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, a bigger round of applause. I told you, let's continue the momentum. Congratulations. Well, eyes on the screen as we now go ahead to the next winner on the list.
And the winner is
Deepak Parekh, co-founder, Iceberg Creations. As he joins us on the stage, let's make this moment more special for him by giving him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Deepak Parekh, everyone, co-founder, Iceberg Creations. Deepak?
I've been thinking about the reception speech since the morning, and I thought I'll just go with the flow. A big shout out to Impact. Thank you so much for the honor. Secondly, this one's special. This goes out to my parents and my family for the support throughout. And also to the friends and family and the kind of team that we're working behind the scenes. This goes out to them. Cheers, guys. We're bringing this home. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deepak. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we move ahead to the next winner on our list, eyes on the screen.
And the winner is
Divya Jagadesan, the producer of Prodigious India. Let's give Divya a bigger round of applause as she joins us and makes it to the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023. You can see her magnanimous smile on the stage. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with the applause for Divya. Divya, we'd love to hear from you.
This field was a complete accident for me. I failed in maths, I failed in science, I failed in every subject. And I did every course possible that my father enrolled me in, CA, law, whatnot. And thankfully, I found this field and I was good at it. But big shout out first to my parents for evolving with me with the time. To my best friend with whom this journey started. Her name is also Divya. To my then friend, now husband, Naveen, for this biggest cheerleader, for my brother, cutest supporter, for many mentors on the way. Somehow I was blessed with them in all my previous offices, even the current one, Varun, Raj, all of them. One of the toughest projects last year, all 5 of them, I think. And yeah, this is a great recognition. Thank you for this platform, and super proud, super happy, and yes, thank you very much.
Congratulations, Divya. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a bigger round of applause and encourage her in her future endeavors. Thank you so much, Lara, for joining us. Let's give Lara a bigger round of applause. She's been so incredible and so supportive always. If I could now have the honor of having the founder and CEO of Talented, PG Aditya, back on the stage, along with the CEO of Starcom India, Rati Gangapal. Let's give both of them a bigger round of applause. Rati, we'd love your presence on the stage. And if we have Aditya, we'd love to have him on stage. Thank you so much, Rati, for joining us. Well, it is, yes, PG, you just made it in time. Let's give him a bigger round of applause. Thank you for joining us. Now, we continue to find out our winners next in the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
And the winner is
Durgesh Pragati Satish Amle, Creative Director, Leo Burnett, India. Durgesh, we need a bigger smile from you. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big, big round of applause. Durgesh, the Creative Director, Leo Burnett, India, making it to the list of Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023. Durgesh?
So, just a small thing. Like, I genuinely believe that, like, there is a team behind you which sits in an office also, but there is a team which sits at home, which is family. So, I genuinely want to dedicate this to my family. And there is a maestro sitting who's recording me right now, Raj Deepak Das. Thank you so much for this. And one of my partner, like I have two partners. One is a actual wife and one is a better half at my office.
Thank you so much. Well done.
You know, well done, and I'm sure he's going to do well very personally as well. Let's give him a bigger round of applause. Congratulations, Durgesh. With that, let's find out our next winner.
And the winner is
Garima Surana, co-founder, Sochcast Media. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Garima a warm round of applause whilst as we welcome, of course, a lot of applause on the stage. And it's time to acknowledge her efforts and her impact today. Let's encourage her with a big round of applause. Garima. Garima, your moment is right here. We'd love to hear from you.
I think most of you would have recognized the face difference. So my sister is not in the country right now, and I think I'm more excited to pick this award on behalf of her. If she would be here, she would definitely be thanking mom, dad, G, all her family, co-founders, and everyone she has learned from. But I think I'll take this opportunity to thank her, because seeing her be a rebel, do things in our family, be the first woman to step out, we all did whatever we could because we saw her doing all that she is. So an extremely proud sister. Thank you, everyone, and great moment of proud feeling for all of us today.
I think you did your sister proud today.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah?
What's your name?
Mahima.
Mahima, congratulations to your whole family.
Thank you so much.
Let's give a big round of applause to Mahima as well. Thank you, Mahima, for joining us. Well, with that, let's find out our next winner in the list. Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023. And the winner shortly on the screen.
There are two joint winners, and the winners are
Kartik Khanna and Rehan, founders of the Starter Lab. They join us as a duo on the stage, the founders of the Starter Labs, Zoo Media. All the young guns in the room, let's give them a bigger round of applause. Let's get more and more energy. Let's continue encouraging one another. And that moment right there, congratulations once again. love both of you to say a few words.
Yeah, I think everyone's already spoken about how important the team is for things like this. So obviously, this is a testament to the team. But this is to the team that's back at home or still at the office. It's not just Rehan and Karthik here, it's TSL. What I'm confident about is that every edition here on out is going to have TSL representation here, and I'm confident because we're having a bloody good time doing what we're doing. Thank you to you guys also.
And I'd like to take my 30 seconds to just address what everyone's pretty much addressed, that, it's a team that kind of builds this, and the two of us, and in your case, you're perhaps the face of the operation. But let's genuinely go back tomorrow when we come into the office with this and celebrate with the team. And it's nice to acknowledge them here, but let's make sure that we acknowledge them over there, because it's them who actually make us and enable us to do what we're doing here. So with that, thank you. Congratulations to everyone. Congratulations to your teams.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again. Let's give the duo a big, big round of applause, both of them being the founders and doing such incredible work. With that, let's go ahead and find out our next winner in Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
And the winner is
Kevin Lee, CEO of Yuva Originals. Congratulations, Kevin, on making it to the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a bigger round of applause. A lot of hoots for Kevin, leading Yuva Originals. This iconic moment, he's made it today with all the support and the impact he's driven. Kevin, we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you, E4M, for this. Thank you all for patiently sitting in the audience and cheering for everybody who comes on stage. I know we're celebrating the youth here. I'm 30. I'm the 5th oldest person at Yuva. They always roll their eyes at me. Some of you mentioned the Gen Z. That is kind of our primary workforce. The average age of somebody at Yuva is 24. So they look at me and they're like, wow, you're 30, that's ancient. But I would just like to say that when we started off about 5 years ago, we wanted to talk about purpose. We never wanted to label ourselves an agency, because at that time, not a lot of people were doing work in mental health, in gender, in identity. I'm so happy that we've come this far, and it's so great to be accepted by all of you folks, and it's great to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Kevin, and keep that spirit up. With that, let's find out our next person making it to the top 30 Under 30 2023 Impact. Let's find it out.
And the winner is
Kishan Panvalia, founding team of Pepper Content. Do we have Kishan amongst us? Yes, right there. Kishan making that grand entrance. Let's give him a bigger round of applause and congratulate him to making in the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023 list. For this moment, let's encourage him with a bigger round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the great work they do. Kishan, we'd love to hear from you now.
Hey, hi. I think, first of all, thank you so much, Impact, in this case. I have a very interesting story to say, by the way. This is 2019. We were just starting Pepper back then. And I think Mr. Mehta is over here. I had written a cold email to you back then saying that doing the right thing at the age of 19 is what I wrote him. And he was kind enough to reply back. And I think today getting felicitated by him is an honor, of course, sir. So I think thank you so much for that bit. And of course, interesting journey, come a long way. We started back in the second year of our college at BITS, Pilani, and I think in a long way, of course. Our core belief is every company is a content company, of course, and we stand by that charm. And I think all of us in this room, of course, at the same time would be able to agree to this. But yeah, I think Thank you everyone for this honor, and I think long way to go for us, but really appreciate this bit. Thank you.
Let's encourage him with a warm round of applause and applaud him for all his efforts. Congratulations. With that, we'd like to humbly thank PG, and thank you so much, Rati, for joining us. You may join the audience. Let's give both of them a big, big round of applause. Thank you so much. With that, now it's our honor to have the CCO and CEO of Leo Burnett South Asia, Raj Deepak Das, along with the co-founder and CEO of White Rivers Media, Shrenik Gandhi. Come on, everyone, let's give both our leaders a big, big round of applause. Thank you so much, Raj Deepak, and thank you, Shrenik, for joining us. With your applause in the background and the encouragement passing along, it is time to find out the next one in the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
And the winner is
Nikita Shah, Director Digital Mindshare. As she walks towards the stage with her exuberance, let's applaud our lady for all the efforts she's made. Congratulations, Nikita. For all her teammates, for everyone in the industry, let's give her a big, big round of applause for making it to the list today and creating that impact. Nikita Shah. We'd love to hear from you, Nikita.
Thank you, Exchange for Media. I think it's an honor to be here today. None of these would have been possible without my family, friends, and of course my teammates, my work friends, all my mentors who have supported me throughout my journey. So thank you very much. And yeah, congratulations to all the fellow winners sitting here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and Nikita, continue that smile and continue your work. Let's find out, ladies and gentlemen, next in the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
And the winner is
Prateek Mehta, Director Content Plus Mindshare India. As Prateek joins us on stage, let's recognize all his efforts with our great round of applause. All the leaders recognizing his efforts, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big, big round of applause. Prateek Mehta. Prateek, we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you to Impact for obviously organizing this event. I think it's really important to celebrate people, give them the platform to grow, to live their best life, to do amazing work. And you guys are doing a great job at that, considering we have so many ex-students of Impact that are here with us. One of the things that I wanted to mention was that, do you guys know what the average life expectancy is in India? Can anyone answer that? It's actually 70, which means that most of us here have a lot of time ahead of us to do some of the best, most inspired work that we're going to do. And I hope everyone that's in this room, I hope so too, but then that it still allows us a lot of time to do a lot of great work, and I wish everyone the best here. I hope you guys do great, and yeah, the best of you is yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prateek. To much more years of, creating that impact, let's give him a bigger, bigger round of applause. Prateek Mehta, everyone. And the impact continues as we find out our next winner in the list.
And the winner is
Pratul Narang, Director of Special Projects Wife. Let's give Pratul a warm round of applause as he joins us. A different knack Pratul has got to the stage. Congratulations. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big, big round of applause. Pratul, we'd love to hear from you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Congratulations to the Impact team and all of the winners and everyone who's here. I'm not going to take too much time. I've been thinking about 30 seconds and how I can make this like as quick as possible. So I've been thinking about the word impact and 3 things that have had a profound impact in my life. Number 1 is education. I don't take my education for granted ever. It is a privilege that I was gifted with, and I've since that day I've been very, very happy for the education that I've been given. Number 2 is the impact of representation and equality. I think seeing people like myself and people like my friends, in the industry that I work in, and some of the work that we create is very, very important and impactful for at least me and then some of my friends. And the last thing is obviously the impact of kindness and compassion. I think none of us would be here if it wasn't for the random acts of kindness that we do for each other on a daily basis, like how Kevin came for my rescue with that question. Yeah, for anyone who's just starting out or have already built a successful career, please remember to always think of something that moves you, an impact that you can make in your life with the work that you do. And yeah, have a great night. Thank you so much.
You're a stylist. I thought I'll take the number from you and maybe when I grow up, I want to be like you, and next function I grow up. But jokes apart, Pratul is definitely amongst the most naturally dressed Impact 30 under 30. You have a distinct style. Well done. God bless you.
And I think when we saw Pratul enter, even his mask had a different resemblance. You're not wearing that right now. But congratulations. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, next up in our recognition in the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023, eyes on the screen.
And the winner is
Ria, the Director of Growth and Strategy, wife. Let's give Ria a big, big round of applause. Joining us with that amazing and infectious energy on the stage today, leading the growth and strategy at Wife. Congratulations, Ria. Come on, everyone, let's applaud her for all her efforts and impact. Congratulations. More and more hoots, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys. Firstly, thank you, Impact, for giving me this stage. And I honestly do want to take some time and take this moment to really, while I'm here on the stage right now, it's about the journey that it took me to get here. And it's everyone that has supported me. I'm so glad my team wife here, my team wife is here. Prathro is actually one of the other people here. And it's amazing to be surrounded by people who constantly inspire, and you also have people to constantly be supportive of. So honestly, I wouldn't be here without anyone else. And we do actually have this thing in the agency where we always talk about we. I think so many times when I joined Wife as well, it was always, there are times you're always talking about because by default, right? I think it sort of inculcates a lot and you realize the value of it. So honestly, none of us wouldn't be here without the support that we have. So thank you so much, and thanks everyone for being here.
Thank you so much, Shreya, and let's give her a big, big round of applause and a lot of hoots. And let's find out the next one on the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
And the winner is
Ronak Jain, Director, Performix India. Heartiest congratulations, Ronak, for making it to the list today of the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023. Ronak Jain, everyone. Come on, everyone, let's give him a big, big round of applause. Let's applaud for one another. Ronak, we'd love to hear from you.
thank you everyone. I think thanks to the jury. Back in 2016, when I started the career, skeptical about joining the field. Now you're feeling proud, feeling happy. Thanks to the performance team. I think this wouldn't have been possible without them. Thanks to my parents, family, and colleague, obviously. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Ronak, for joining us on stage. Well, with that, I'd like to humbly thank Shrenik and Rajdeepak for joining us and helping us in applauding all our winners. Come on, let's give them a bigger round of applause. And if I could now have Rohit Ori, Global Partner, FCB, and Chandni Shah, Founder and CEO of Connect, once again to help us with the felicitation of all our winners. Let's give both our leaders a warm round of applause. As we've got our leadership on stage, let's continue with the celebration. Our next winner on the screen.
And the winner is
Ronak Thakkar, Director Communications Planning, Mindshare. For all the efforts he's done at Mindshare, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a bigger round of applause. Ronak Thakkar, congratulations. This is his red carpet moment. Let's encourage him with a big round of applause. Ronak.
Thank you everyone. I'd like to start by thanking my boss, Vipasha. Thank you for turning this skinny, shy boy into someone deserving of this award and becoming the family that I never thought I could find in a workplace. Next, I'd like to thank Ajay. I don't know if he's here, but thank you so much for believing in me and just always looking out for me no matter what direction I look at. Thank you to Mindshare and everybody else that I work with. You guys really make it amazing to be at Mindshare. And lastly, I'd like to thank my family who's here. I'm sorry I've never been able to explain to them what exactly I do, because what really is strategy. Yeah, that. But thank you so much for supporting me regardless. And yeah, thanks everyone for being here. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ronak, and continue that same spirit in your years ahead. Let's find out our next winner in the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
And the winner is
Samyu Murali, creative, talented. Let's give her a big round of applause as we encourage her to join us on stage. Kudos to the impact you've created and congratulations once again. Let's create this iconic moment for her with a warm round of applause. With that, we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you so much. I turned 30 in a few months, so this is excellent timing. Thank you to PG, Binayfer, and Gautam. It's been very inspiring to watch them build Talented over the past year and a half. Very grateful to have them guide me and really honored to be following in their footsteps. Thank you to my aunt who decided to join me today. Thank you to my parents, my sister, and my aunts and uncles, without whom I wouldn't be here. Thanks.
Thank you and congratulations. Continuing the celebration, we are looking at next up our next winner of the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
And the winner is
Shivani Mehta, producer, Prodigious India. Let's give Shivani a warm round of applause. And with that beautiful smile of her, let's encourage her for all the creativity, for all the talent she's brought to the company. Congratulations, Shivani. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, a bigger round of applause for Shivani. And we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, so yeah, I am not prepared for this, guys.
But thank you so much for having us here, all of us, and a big congratulations to all of you. With all the CEOs and founders, I never knew that I'll be standing here and taking the award. So amazed and glad, very thankful, grateful for whatever I've achieved, and wishing you all the best for your life. Do whatever you want to do because it is possible. Go for it. Thank you so much.
For all the possibilities, she's got the great talent and the impact she's done. Let's congratulate once again Shivani, everyone. And with that same spirit, let's have our next winner on the screen, Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
And the winner is
Shreya Arora, founding member and creative, talented Webco. Let's give Shreya a big, big round of applause, everyone, to encourage her, and she deserves all the applause and all the credit. Let's make this a great and a golden moment. Presenting to you, Shreya Arora, everyone. Shreya couldn't be joining us. We have somebody on behalf. Would you like to say a few words on behalf of her?
Shreya couldn't be here today, so I'm here to accept this on her behalf. Thank you to Impact for giving this to her. Just a few words. Shreya is a very inspiring art director, a huge inspiration to me just because a lot of art directors in specific tend to be more on the quiet side, letting our work do the talking. Shreya is one of those rare talents who pave the way for other art directors to really speak their mind and make their voice be heard. So thank you so much, Shreya, for that.
Thank you so much, Samyu, for joining us. And with that, let's find out next who makes it in the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
And the winner is
Sindhura Ganesh, Manager Strategy, VML YNR India. Let's give a big, big round of applause as she joins us on stage. This impactful moment for her. And this is the moment. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's encourage her with a warm, warm round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. This truly feels like a Filmfare moment or the Om Shanti Om moment that I'd like to call, holding this award. And I'd like to thank the Impact team as well as the entire VML YNR team for all the support, and my family and friends and the esteemed judges and panelists. Now that all the thank yous are done, I'd just like to take a moment to say that studying economics and finance and then coming into marketing strategy was something that I never really thought of. And getting this recognition just 3 years into my career and just 2 years into the field is something that I am, is a great motivator for me, and is something that I'm going in the right direction. So I'd like to thank everyone and congratulate everyone once again for this recognition and for the honor. Truly grateful and honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's applaud her a bigger, bigger round of applause. Congratulations. Well, with that, thank you so much, Chandni. Thank you so much, Rohit, for joining us and gracing us with your presence and all your support. For our final set, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have Pallavi Chakravarti, founder and CCO of Fundamental, Abhik Santara, founder and CEO of Atom Network, Mahesh Ambalia, creative director, VML YNR, and if I could have Neeta Nair as well to please join us. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for all of them. This is our final set. We'd request as many as we can accommodate on the stage. Come on, everyone, a big, big round of applause. And as our stage is set to welcome our next set of winners, eyes on the screen.
winner is
Sonam Upadhyay, Manager, Senior Manager Reservation Buying, Group M Media. Congratulations, Sonam. For that energy, let's give Sonam a big, big round of applause for making it to the list, for all the impact she's created. Sonam, congratulations. Sonam, we'd love to hear from you.
Not few words, actually. I was like waiting for this award. I don't know like how many days I had that sleepless night, and I was like, when will I get my frame? Oh God. So it's finally here, and I see the party already began, so I need to start the party soon. Okay, so as for my speech, would like to thank my mother. She's right there. So excited. And my parents, my family, all my managers, mentors, Group M Nexus to be precise, because they want me to do so. And like all my mentors, thank you for your support. And thank you, judges, for choosing me. Thank you so much. Thank you, judges.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it a big, big round of applause and welcome to her mom as well. Well, with that, let's go ahead and find out our next winner in the list.
and the winner is
Saundarya Kakar, Growth and Strategy Lead, wife. As Saundarya joins us on stage, accepting the win and leading the Growth and Strategy Lead, wife. So with that smile, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it a warm round of applause. Saundarya. We'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so I've sort of categorized my speech into 4 parts. There are 4 categories of people I want to thank. I actually did not nominate myself for the awards. I thought that I have 5 more years, I'm going to do better things, achieve more. But my team at WIFE thought that whatever work I've done till date deserves recognition, and for that I'm forever grateful. So thank you, Team WIFE. The second category of people is actually one of my co-founders is standing right here, Ankur Chaturvedi. The other one's back at home. She just had a baby girl. But Neha Mewawala, who was in the Impact 30 Under 30 list last year, they pushed me to nominate myself, work harder, and whatever I am, they're my mentors right now, and I'm very grateful to them. Third is actually my ex-bosses, my clients. I genuinely believe the kind of work that I do, it's based on relationships, and I wouldn't be here without them. So all of my clients, all of my brand POCs, everybody who I've worked with till date, thank you for them. Last but definitely not the least, I'm sorry I'm taking a little longer, is my family as well. My family has been sending me countdown texts for the past 5 days, saying 5 days to go, 4 days to go, 3 days to go. They couldn't be here, they're back in Chandigarh. And even though like I to Ronak, my mother doesn't understand what I do for my job either. But it's good to know that she's really proud of me and my family is. My roommate's sitting right here, taking my photographs, getting very anxious. So grateful for all the people I have in my life. Thank you so much.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you. And continue those celebrations, Saundarya. With that, let's find out our next winner in the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
and the winner is
Vatsal Mukesh Rajgor, CEO of Digimaze Marketing Private Limited. Let's give Vatsal, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause as we welcome him. And congratulations, Vatsal, on making it to the list of Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big, big round of applause and encourage each and every one They've put in so much efforts. Vatsal, we'd love to hear from you.
I would like to thank my lucky shoes. That's what GPT gave it to me when I was looking for some quirky copies or the quirky 30 seconders. But all of us out here have said out loud that this whole award is to the whole team. So a big shout out to Digime's team, a big shout out to my brother who's my co-founder, Poojan, and a big shout out to my wife. She's taking video from there. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you. You have a lovely night.
Thank you and congratulations, Vatsal. Let's find out, ladies and gentlemen, our next winner in the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023.
And the winner is
Vignesh Iyer, Creative Director, Leo Burnett, India. Let's give Vignesh a warm round of applause as we welcome him. And congratulations, Vignesh, on making it to the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023. Get that iconic moment. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big, big round of applause. Vignesh Iyer. Vignesh, we'd love to hear from you.
Ellam pugalum iravenake. So if you're wondering what I just said, 90% of the room must not know that. That's exactly how it used to feel when I tried to explain what I did in advertising. So but thanks Impact for kind of recognizing this, and it gives a whole lot of legitimacy to tell people what I do now. But yeah, a great load of thanks to my parents, to Leo Burnett India and the coolest mentor ever, Raj, to my coolest critic and friend who couldn't make it here, Ankita, to my wife, better half at work, whom you met right now, Durgesh, and the others who I couldn't mention because of a 30-second restriction again. But yeah, and what I meant at the start is all praise to the Lord, from a quote from A.R. Rahman. Thank you.
Well done, Vignesh. Heartiest congratulations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, remember that we have that iconic group photograph with all the winners just after this for the final one making it to the list.
and the winner is
Yash, the head of businesses, Yuva Originals. Let's give Yash a warm round of applause as we welcome him on the stage. And he made it to the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, let's warmly acknowledge him with a warm round of applause. Yash, kudos to your impact. We'd love to hear from you.
I am the last one. ये मेरे साथ स्कूल में भी होता था कि I had to wait because why, right? First of all, I want to thank my teachers who didn't believe in me. I want to thank my mother to sit into all the PTMs where the teachers आपके बच्चे का life में कुछ नहीं होगा. But thanks to that teacher who said कि आपके बच्चे का कुछ नहीं होगा, because of her I met Nikhil, the chief and founder at Yuva, who believed in me and gave me the courage to be here today, do amazing work with the young people and learn from them. So yeah, thank you to them, thank you to my team at Yuva, thank you to my wife, thank you to my parents watching at home. So thank you everyone for this award. Thanks.
Congratulations, Yash. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have the iconic moment of all of you joining us shortly. But before that, we have the unveiling of the special edition of the magazine. And Mr. Mehta, since you are there amongst us today, we'd love you to help us with the unveiling. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a short countdown. When I say 10, you say 9. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, the special edition of the magazine dedicated to Impact Top 30 Under 30. Let's give them a big, big round of applause. The unveiling. Come on, everyone. This is the list we're talking about. Congratulations to all those who've made it. And in this moment, we'd love Mr. Ahuja to say a few words.
You know, as the lists all come on stage, I just want to congratulate everyone who made it to the list this year, the 10th year of Impact 30 Under 30. I just Googled, before we got onto stage, India's average age of the 140 crores of us is 28 years. And I can imagine the age of the winners today, the average age of all the under 30 winners is somewhere thereabouts. So this room, this list in many ways is, representative of young India, the energy, the enthusiasm, the creativity, young India has. My daughter plays tennis, and I remember last week having a conversation with her that how in tennis, we all grew up watching the greats like Boris Becker. There used to be one, breakout player every 10 years who would be a teenager. But if you look at the average age of tennis players, especially in the women's tennis, space, they're getting younger and younger. Coco Gauff is just 19. She was a Wimbledon finalist at 15. So really, youngsters bring so much energy, fresh ideas to the table. It's amazing to see, how, and this lady who came on stage and spoke about how she kind of, did not do well in academics, but found her calling in advertising and, the kind of avenues that have opened up, given the kind of talent that, youngsters have, the energy, the passion, the sort of go-getter attitude. Last but not the least, when Rati was on stage, she asked me how many of these 30 are women, and we did a count. Neeta tells me 12. It's a great number, but I would imagine, given that the advertising industry is far, far ahead in terms of gender equality, this list should be 50%, if not more. We at E4M are certainly more than 50% women. 8 out of our 10 team leads are women. I'm surrounded by women every day in every meeting. So congratulations again to all the winners. Thank you, Mr. Mehta, for taking time out and doing the honors, and the youngsters will certainly feel encouraged by the fact that you were on stage to give them a pat on their back. Thank you so much. Enjoy your drinks, and we'd like all the winners on stage for a photo op.
So ladies and gentlemen, this moment is arrived. Firstly, let's give Mr. Ahuja a big, big round of applause, and we request all the winners, this is your moment, along with our chief guest. We'd request you to please join us now. We're going to make it quick so that we can continue with our evening. We'd request you to join with all your teammates, only the winners, the ones who made it to the list, with your placards if you'd like. Yes, please. It's your trophy to carry today. Please do join us. Yes, this is your time to show it off. All our winners who made it to the list, Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023, we request all of you. We'll have to manage the space on the stage, but we'd encourage all of you to please join us. The ones who are well-heighted could be a little at the back. You'll still be seen. We'll try and arrange you. Maybe a few of the boys could take the lead and be seated. Thank you so much. Some could occupy the front of the front rows if you want, and be seated a little more ahead. And as we have everyone on the stage, ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023. Let's give them a big, big round of applause. Make some noise for all our leaders, for everyone who's created that impact, who's doing so well. Kudos to all the teammates for joining us and encouraging them, and to the entire fraternity, and of course to the E4M team for doing so wonderfully well, the Impact team. Let the celebration continue. These are our winners, and kudos to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. God bless everyone. The winners of the Impact Top 30 Under 30 2023. Thank you once again. Thank you to our chief guest, Mr. Mehta. Thank you for joining us.